The transport shuttle jolted as it broke through the upper atmosphere of Mir 9, a humid jungle world that always looked more like a steaming cauldron than a habitable colony. I gripped the armrest and stared out the porthole. Lightning storms rolled over endless canopies of alien trees, and I could almost feel the heat through the hull. This was my new assignment. Months of joint research with the MYRHN, a reptilian species who had recently allied with Earth. When the shuttle settled on the landing pad, I stepped out into the thick, damp air. My translator implant clicked as guttural voices greeted me. Soldiers in scaled armor stood at attention, their golden eyes reflecting the stormlight. But among them one figure stood out. She was tall, broad-shouldered, and wore ceremonial garb instead of armor, robes cut with sharp angles that shimmered faintly in the rain. Her skin wasn't the dull gray of most Urchin, but streaked with bands of turquoise. "This is Scholar Kareth," the officer beside me said. "She will be assigned to you. She studies humans." Assigned to me. The word stuck in my head. I gave a polite nod, though I couldn't help noticing her gaze lingered on me longer than comfortable. It wasn't hostile, more investigative. Beginning. An alien curiosity. The base was built half above the jungle, half carved into the cliffside. Therein like their structures open, with rain pouring through and moss growing in the corners. My quarters were small but serviceable, though I wasn't prepared to discover that Kareth had a chamber directly connected to mine. "You are the first human stationed here," she explained, following me in like she owned the place. "It is efficient that I observe you continually." "Observe," I repeated, dropping my duffel. "Yes, how you eat, how you rest, how you operate. My people seek understanding of your biology." She leaned close, sniffing the air. "Already, I detect strange hormones." I cleared my throat, uncomfortable under her scrutiny. "Look, observation's fine, but maybe not when I'm sleeping or showering." Her brow ridges rose. "But those are the most revealing states." I wasn't sure if she was joking. Over the next few days, Kareth shadowed me everywhere. At meals, she catalogued my chewing motions. During drills, she timed my endurance. When I stretched, she tilted her head like I was bending physics itself. She asked endless questions, her voice deep and serious. "Why do you require so much water? Why does your skin leak fluid when hot? Why do your teeth remain even when not hunting?" And then came the moment that nearly made me choke. The misunderstanding. It was late evening. I was in the quarters, running diagnostics on a datapad, when Kareth sat cross-legged across from me. Her eyes never left me. "Human," she said slowly, "I have noticed something troubling." I braced myself. "What now?" "When I am near you, your body changes. It is involuntary." I froze, suddenly aware of what she meant. "Changes." She nodded gravely. "Your breeding tool." I nearly dropped the datapad. "Excuse me. The organ you employ for reproduction. When I brushed against you earlier, it grew." She leaned forward, genuinely puzzled. "Why does it grow when touched?" I rubbed my face. Of all the assignments in the galaxy, I had to get this one. "Kareth, that's normal. It's called arousal. A biological reaction." She tilted her head. "So it is defensive. Like a frill expanding. Or a weapon unsheathed." I coughed, trying not to laugh. "Not a weapon. Definitely not defensive." Her eyes narrowed, unamused. "Explain then." I hesitated, then decided honesty was easier than avoidance. I explained as clinically as possible. The human reproductive system, blood flow, hormones, attraction. All while Kareth listened with the intensity of someone dissecting a mystery artifact. So it grows, she summarized finally, because it wants to unite with another's body, to pass on genetic essence. That's one way of putting it. Her gaze lingered again. Then when it grew at my touch, was it because you wished to unite with me? My face heated. That's not, it doesn't always mean that. Yet sometimes it does. She leaned back as if filing away the data. I wasn't sure if I should laugh, cry, or request immediate transfer. Deepening connection. Despite the embarrassment, something changed after that conversation. Kareth became less clinical, almost gentler in her observations. She asked about emotions, not just reflexes. About why humans paired off, why we told stories of love and loyalty. Among my people, she said one night as thunder rolled outside, mating is a transaction. Families arrange it. No words of affection. She tested the human word carefully. Do you humans truly bond for no advantage? Not always, I admitted. But when we do, it's strong. Sometimes strong enough to start wars, or end them. She considered that, her eyes reflecting the lightning. Strange creatures. You fight for reasons beyond survival. I smiled faintly. And you don't. We fight because we must. But you fight because you choose. That makes you dangerous. The way she said it didn't sound like condemnation. Sounded like awe. Conflict. Tensions flared a week later. A rogue faction of American warriors, those who opposed alliance with Earth, raided the base. Alarms screamed, and the humid night exploded with plasma fire. I grabbed my rifle and bolted into the corridors, Kareth beside me. Her scholarly demeanor vanished. She moved with lethal grace, claws unsheathed, staff whirling. Together we fought through invaders, holding ground until reinforcements arrived. At one point, cornered in a storage bay, I caught a blast meant for her. It seared my side, and I dropped behind cover. Human, she cried, dragging me back. Why protect me? You could have lived if I fell. Because that's what we do, I gasped, clutching the burn. We protect the people we care about. Her eyes widened as if struck. For a heartbeat, the battle noise faded. Then she bared her fangs and roared, launching herself at the attackers with terrifying fury. By dawn, the rebels were scattered. The base smoldered, but we were alive. Ending, understanding. Later, as medics patched me up, Kareth lingered by my side. She didn't speak until the others left. You confuse me, human, she admitted quietly. You bleed for me. You speak of care, of loyalty. And your body reacts in ways you do not command. That's humanity for you, I said with a weak laugh. Messy, emotional, unpredictable. She leaned close, her eyes searching mine. Perhaps that is why I no longer see you only as a subject to study. The words hung between us, heavy with meaning. I didn't know if she meant friendship, respect, or something more. But for once, I didn't feel like just an experiment. She reached out, her clawed hand resting lightly on mine. When your breeding tool grew at my touch, she said softly, I thought it weakness. Now I wonder if it is proof of your strength, to be vulnerable, yet still protect others. I chuckled, shaking my head. Trust me, that's not how most humans would describe it. Then most humans are fools. We sat in silence, the jungle humming outside, the storm finally passing. Maybe the alliance between our worlds wasn't built only on treaties and weapons. Maybe it began here, in awkward conversations, in misunderstandings, in small moments of trust. And maybe, just maybe, in the strange, unexplainable bond between one human and one alien scholar.